Pleased to be joined by Belmont University head volleyball coach Tony Howell. And Tony, thanks for taking the time out. We have a lot of fun things to talk about.
Well, I appreciate being here, and yeah, we got a lot of fun things to talk about. Yeah.
Well, on the heels of Belmont winning the 2015 OVC championship and then their stirring performance against Louisville in the NCAA tournament, I'd be interested to get your perspective maybe on hearing from former players, coaches that you guys go up against. I'm sure the sentiments have been largely positive.
It has been extremely positive. We've been getting a lot of feedback from a lot of former players. Actually, Emily Cahill was at the match, and her and her mom, which was interesting. Her mom graduated from Louisville, and Emily graduated from Belmont. So they're, came to watch their alma maters play each other. But she was texting to a lot of former teammates as well, and how she was just thoroughly impressed, and she told me how it was just amazing just to watch that group play Louisville. And we played Louisville so well, it was just really down to a matter of inches that could have decided the match one way or the other. And we've gotten a lot of feedback from Facebook, for weeks. Even now I'm still hearing some feedback from different places that we are getting a lot of good recognition on how well the girls played.
This had to be the goal in August, but you had such a young team going into the season. Take us through that. You're starting preseason training, you're going into the non-conference tournaments. How did you see all of this kind of come together? Because from the outside, those of us who follow Belmont Volleyball, both as staff and as fans, we really liked what we saw with this team. Unity, the charisma, the stick-to-itiveness to kind of come through some early season adversity and fight through it. And maybe just reflect upon that. It's always the goal to make postseason,
right,
but it had to be sweeter because the girls had to go through some adversity.
It was, and it all started back in the 2014 finals against Murray. They all said, the ones that were returning said, this isn't going to happen again. We're making sure that we're going to work hard. And when they came into preseason in August, they all were working hard, incorporated the 3 new freshmen into the system fairly easy, and they were getting along real well. The chemistry was great with the ladies. They had that common goal. The one thing that we didn't do was we didn't harp on it all that much. We really broke every part of the season down into like 6 to 7 different phases, and so we just focused on each individual phase one at a time. And one thing that we did is during the preseason tournaments is we played everyone, and to get everyone the playing experience that they need. And during practices, we trained the whole team of 12, and then we had the obstacles that had happened through the seasons with 2 major injuries that it was all in our outside positions. So we had 4 outside hitters, and so now we're with our top leading outside hitter, and then 3 young ladies that were fighting for the position for the O2 position. And so it was juggling that position all year long. But I would tell you, these young ladies, no matter what obstacle came up, they all were focused on just doing the best that they can on every single ball and one match at a time and 1 point at a time. And that's how they were able to overcome a lot of things. Even through the course of the ending of regular conference play, we lost 3 matches in a row, and we were still able to hold on to the 2nd seed going into the tournament, which was impressive, just impressive on how the girls started conference play. And I can't say enough on how well they were able to handle those type of situations. Even in the 3 losses that we had injuries there. But we were blessed to have them be so minor that everybody returned after those 3 matches were done. And so it was kind of like a new team was formed and coming into the conference tournament. And so it was just great, and to watch them play through the conference tournament was just good. And I'm just so impressed with how the ladies handled the whole season and handled each circumstance. And because we trained all 12 of them the same, the chemistry on the court never changed, and that was huge.
In your entire coaching career, have you ever had a squad peak the way this Bruin team did, conference tournament and then postseason? Because it was extraordinary, especially defensively, how Belmont Volleyball really was at its finest when it needed to be at its most.
Yes, it's always hard to be able to go through the season and make sure that we peak at a certain time, and to be able to figure out when that peaking moment is, or sometimes it's a gamble and you don't know. But just some of the setbacks that we had and the obstacles that we had to overcome kind of helped us regulate when we would peak, and those we couldn't control. And so it was kind of like you cannot actually say, God had his hand on this season because he prepared us through each and every single situation. And for us to peak at that time was great, and that's exactly what we wanted to do. And to carry it on, we gave the girls Thanksgiving off so they can recover mentally, physically, emotionally, in all those regards. And then to come out and to play Louisville the way they played them is like we were constantly still on that same path, even with that time off.